got everything done. I got the Strakes cut, got them shaped, got the ends shaped, I got them tack welded on, got them welded on, and finally the worst part of all is grinding. God dang. Running a grinder that long, like you start to lose, literally my hands are all tingling. Anyway, I'll turn the phone around, show you the final result, and hope you guys have a great weekend, but here it is. All right, guys, well, my UPS driver, Eric, was just by, and he's like, why aren't you recording this? This might be interesting. People are going to be into it. So here I am. Thanks, Eric, for the input on turning the camera on and showing people what I'm actually doing. So I got the boat flipped over. Obviously, it's time to finish up some stuff here. So I welded these from the inside of the boat, and it gets all kind of gnarly. So I back gouged that with the good old handy meat saw. Back gouged out, ran a nice bead down there, looks awesome. This seam here also was only welded on the inside, so now that it's upside down, I finished that weld. Now I'm gonna grind these down. I ground these from the top side when the boat was right side up, but now I can access these, get these ground down, get it ready for paint. I'm also going to grind this down just a little bit, not much, and then I'm going to start laying out and prepping and getting the Strakes on. I'm going to talk more about that, but I'm going to turn the time lapse on. You can watch me clean this up, get this thing ready for the Strakes, which are really, this whole bottom is the magic of what make these boats work so awesome. Okay, that is not fun. Loud, it's hard on your hands, it's dusty. So what I was using right there is a aluminum and copper, what's the brand name on this? I don't know, but I just got them off of Amazon. This is an actual grinding wheel. It's not a flapper disc, so that's what I use at first. Is just, you gotta get one made for aluminum or they'll gum up. That's just to take off the big chunks, and then I just buy these. These are the brands I've been using. Kesibe, or I don't even know how you pronounce it, off of Amazon. This is a 40 grit, and they make them in different grits. I just get them off of Amazon. These are cheap. I tried the more expensive ones on my mini boats, and it was negligible notice in how long they lasted, how well they ground, how much they gummed up everything else. So I just buy these cheap ones off of Amazon, and I go through them like flipping dirty socks. They do not last, but they're also pretty cheap. So I've got stockpiles of them, but that's what I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna put through on the flapper wheel and clean this up and on to the next step. All right, guys, so the Strakes are the tread in the tire on your car that help you stick to the road. They absolutely act as little rudders and give your boat kind of longitudinal stability. And that goes for any jet boat. The mini jet boats, they're much a shallower dead rise, but the Strakes and any longitudinal rise or whatever you want to call it helps keep the boat tracking nice and straight and helps kind of dig in the corner. So I start with a simple 1x1 piece of angle aluminum, and then I cut it. And I want to show you a little difference in what I've been doing, or I'm going to do on this boat. And that's because I'm kind of going all out. It's a lot of extra work, but I'm going to spin the phone around here and kind of show you just a very subtle difference. This is just a piece of 1x1, and let me get it focused, that I just cut. It's a straight cut on this edge. Okay, so what happens if we put this here? You can see that there's a nice big gap there and a nice gap there that when you either have to weld it 100%, which you're not going to do, but that creates a little if you're in a turn or whatever, it's just not going to be smooth for the water to kind of run down and be able to move across the bottom of the boat smoothly. So what I did is, or you're about to see, is I cut these on an angle. Let it focus, so that when you put this strake on here, you get rid of that. That's not a good example because hang on, let me grab another one. Let me grab one at the very bottom. Okay, this is a little bit better. So that when that thing is tapered all the way down, you can see that there's not going to be, this is not easy to do with one hand. Anyhow, that's a disaster. Anyway, I'm going to cut them all on an angle so that there is no gap, there's no ridge or anything. Way less body filler, which means less weight on the bottom of the boat, less work and all that stuff. So that's what you're going to see now. I'm going to time frame, get all those things cut, and it's a lot of them. There's 5 on each side, actually 4.5 on each side, so I'm going to get to cutting on those. All right, so I just cut all the strakes. Now, what do you do when these things start to terminate up here on the bow? You can't have a big dead, a big edge sitting like that. So I'm gonna cut a taper on these, a taper on that side and a taper on that, so that this thing will lay nice and flat down on the bow, as you can see. And then these things will be ready to get to welding on the boat. So I'm gonna get cutting on those. All right, guys, once again, it's Friday, heading off to work tomorrow. I'm going to upload this. It'll be uploaded on Sunday. So got everything done. I got the strakes cut, got them shaped, got the ends shaped. I got them tack welded on, got them welded on. And finally, the worst part of all is grinding. God dang. Running a grinder that long, like you start to lose, literally my hands are all tingling. Anyway, I'll turn the phone around, show you the final result, and hope you guys have a great weekend. But here it is, all the strakes are on. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 full-size strakes and then a half-length one. The reason for that is you need to terminate this X amount of distance from your intake or you'll ingest air into your intake. So that's why that is there. And these are also important to kind of give that bow some lift. But anyway, here they are, 4.5 strakes each side. They're all on there, tons of grinding. A lot of they're just little 1.5-inch long welds is all I do on a 8-inch spacing, and probably honestly just do 1-inch welds. But anyway, it's done. It's on. One more thing checked off the list. I lost a little bit of time. The bean came and visited, but next step is to kind of prep this a little bit with a little bit of Bondo, smooth it out, throw some bottom paint on it, and I'll cover that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoy these videos. We appreciate you watching.